Welcome, awakened ones, light workers, light leaders, to another segment of Ask the Light Beings, where every week you can send in your universal question and then Spirit picks the one that's most beneficial for the collective in that moment in time, and then I will tune in and channel the answer from my higher guidance. Today's question is from Lynn. Thank you for sending it in. What are twin flames? Does everyone have a twin flame? Do they harmonize into heaven on earth? And what's their ultimate purpose? It's a very, very often asked question, so I'm glad you sent it in. In the beginning, we always start with a brief sonic transmission. This is just to get you very relaxed in the moment, to open up for optimally receiving the transmissions. So just lean back, relax, take a few deep breaths, and enjoy the transmission. Greetings, most precious ones, eager to receiving our insights, and we so grateful that we get an opportunity yet again to come and speak through this vessel. Twin flames. What an odd expression, is it not? A twin is two stemming from one origin. That is clear. And why flame? That stems from the eternal flame, the eternal origin, the eternal life. Yes. So, a twin flame stemming from the same original soul source. Yes, if you will, the other half that completes you. So, as you incarnate into a physical vessel, and you slowly, year after year, grow into childhood and then into adulthood, you are experiencing different beings on your journey. You fall in love, as you call it. You form relationships with others based on the mutual attraction. This is biology. This is chemistry. It is even called so. Good chemistry between people. Yes. And this creates a certain amount, certain degree of harmony for a while at least, and then it usually begins to wear off. And the reason for this is because that chosen partner was chosen upon an energetic in a particular moment in time when paths converged and ran side by side for a while, and then the paths fork off again. That usually happens when one being goes on an inner journey and they quite literally outgrow the other partner, the partner, and then they have less and less commonality. You see, again, this is pure physics, chemistry, if you will. Now, twin flames. This is something different altogether. It is so precious. And there is one, yes. Sometimes incarnated at the same moment in time, in the same timeline, which means in the same lifetime. And then the energies begin to move towards, like magnets, if you can imagine, move towards attraction. And that can be across the planet. Yes, there will be an energetic motion towards the other twin flame. And oftentimes, most of the time, it takes half a lifetime. Not always, but very, very often this is the case. There is already a certain maturity, and then this attraction is being activated, if you will. Once a certain level of frequency is reached, because twin flames vibrate on a very, very high frequency, on the frequency range of emotions, starting at the lowest with fear and depression and worry, yes, up to the highest frequency of peace and joy and love. So twin flames can only meet once they have already reached a very high frequency within themselves. So this usually requires quite some decades on your life's journey, unless of course, and this has been happening more recently, there are beings, they call themselves star seeds. They are already entering into this realm on a very high frequency. And then, of course, for them it is possible to meet earlier in life. This, however, is not the norm yet. For right now, twin flames are meeting when they are usually at the height of their lives, when they have already lived, they have already created a life with a partner. They oftentimes already went through marriage, childbearing, child rearing, children are grown-ups, oftentimes divorce, which is helping the meeting of twin flames. For if the twin flame, one of them or both, are already obligated in another binding, if you will, legally, and also emotionally in a relationship, in a family situation, then it complicates the meeting of these twin flames tremendously. And this is the challenge of twin flames. And this is what can be overcome in different ways. There are often quite a lot of heated confrontations because you literally feel you are looking into your mirror. Yes, twin flames are mirroring one another. Now, if you come together and you are not bound by other societal rulings, as you have a family and you are still involved through a marriage contract, emotionally bound, then meeting a twin flame is extremely challenging. Then oftentimes, because you see, once you meet, the attraction is so strong, more so spiritually than anything else, of course also physically, but the spirit connection is so strong. You gravitate towards one another. It is almost painful to not be together in the same place, in the same moment in time. So that is why when twin flames meet and there is not freedom of allowance of getting together and forming immediately a new bond, then, well, arrangements need to be made. This can mean you form a deep friendship and keep it as such, which requires a tremendous amount of discipline because the attraction of twin flames is so strong. But there are plenty of beings who manage this. And then, of course, it is difficult because there are two units then. The one that had already been created, and the other one is the new one, the coming together with the twin flame. So this is of immense challenge, or the bond is so strong that the one that is not free, if you will, needs to make a decision. And then sometimes the choice of divorcing and moving away from the current family, from the current bond, legally and emotionally, must be severed in peace, peacefully, so that there is liberation to enter into the new coming together as twin flames. If the being that is not free is not strong enough to manage to do that emotionally or also mentally, then a situation needs to be created where these twin flames can become immensely deeply bonded friends, and a friendship is being created which only for the two of them goes so deep that they know they are two halves of this whole. This is challenging, beautiful ones, but it is doable. Now, those who are freed, for them it is a little bit easier, but not as easy as you would think, because once you meet your twin flame, you have to imagine this is the other half of a soul origin. And once you come together, everything will be mirrored back that is not in wholeness and completion yet. So your twin flame is an immense teacher for you. Immense growth is possible. Tremendous expansion is going to happen if you allow yourself to go through these challenging times and you work it all out and you make it happen. And then, yes, indeed, truly and verily, you can create heaven on earth. This is indeed possible. Now, not everyone will meet their twin flame in a lifetime. And that is not because you don't have one. Each soul has another half to complete themselves. Yes, it's like the yin and yang. However, it can be that your twin flame might not be incarnated in this same timeline, in this same lifetime, than where you are incarnated in this moment in time. It is quite possible that not only is your twin on a different frequency in this moment, same lifetime but different frequency, and then you still are not able to meet. It can even go so far as your twin flame to not be incarnated in this moment, and then your twin flame is in the ether. Once again, very highly evolved souls can still form a union, even if the other is in the ether. This usually happens when there is a very high calling, so that the meeting point of both in the same lifetime would be so intense and high in frequency that the light coming together would be like an explosion, and it would create an energy field that is too high for beings incarnated in the flesh could handle. Even one of the two walking through life can oftentimes shine so brightly that it is blinding energetically for certain beings around them, and it is very uncomfortable to be in their presence. That is why it is set up by the divine that in this case, and usually it is a light leader of very high frequency, that the divine, the Most High, had ordained for them to walk their path on their own in a particular lifetime with a grand mission. And then their twin is assisting from the ether, and they can meet in the ether during sleep time, during meditation, during deep, deep tuning in. And there can be wondrous communion and enjoyment of each their presence. It is simply a different level of existence. The purpose, of course, of a twin flame coming together is these beings are coming to guide men and women who are still struggling with lower frequencies. For the twin flames, they are lifting them up simply by their presence. So when a twin flame walks through the day, walks through life, everybody in their energy field, and that could just be a simple walking by in the street, everybody is touched and elevated by their frequency of love, of peace, of joy, of harmony, and of inner and outer beauty. The purpose of twin flames is to show mankind that there is a more elevated way of being. There is a higher purpose to life than simply just indulging in lower frequencies, and to go beyond the indulgence in physical, material things, the confrontations in arguments, the pickering, the judging, the greediness, the competition, the ambitions, all these things. A twin flame vibrates so much more elevated than these frequencies that to them it is very difficult, almost impossible to conceive of the notion of these emotions and states of being. A twin flame cannot perceive competition, for example. It is impossible, for they dwell in harmony, in kindness, in compassion. You see, twin flames are the great leaders, teachers of mankind. And because their path is such a vibrant, brilliant, light one, twin flames usually have to go through immense hardship. It's the purification, if you will, the clearing of all the lower frequency states of being of mankind, and to show, to live by the example what is possible to those who are striving to rise and to expand and to grow. So if you are a twin flame connected with another twin flame, Blessed you are, for you have received from the divine an immense gift, an opportunity so grand to reach heights so few can reach in human embodiment. But be prepared to go through some trials, some challenging moments, and fearlessly, courageously, bravely face these energetics and be willing to work it out, if you say, as you say, work it all out, work it through, and come out at the other side lighter, joyous, harmonious. And then once you have reached this place of togetherness in harmony, then, yes, truly then, heaven on earth is possible. We believe this is now clear, so we are bidding our farewell for now. We wish you so much courage and anticipation in love and joy and light to tackle any encounters with your twin flame. And always remember, you are here to show the way to others. And as you are doing it, you have the great reward of living in lightness, in peace, in harmony, in joy. For you, once you reach this state, will truly have earned it and deserve this blissful living, embodied in union. The tone we are gifting you now with is for the union of twin flames.